gorgeous people who love to scrap. It's far from Australia. I have some beautiful projects here to share with you all, and these projects are created for Bonnie, who is Sassy Scrappers here on YouTube. Bonnie and I, we do a swap once a year for fabric journals, and this year we both decided on well, I asked Bonnie if we could do a banner swap also, as well as the fabric journal that we usually do. So here's what I have come up with, and I've got my gloves on again because of my farm hands. Hope you don't mind. Here's my beautiful journal that I have created for Bonnie. It's really stunning. And here is my matching fabric banner, and then I have altered this little shabby chic metal tin bucket with beautiful embellishments in there as a gift for my beautiful friend Bonnie also. So I will share with you guys the fabric journal first. Alright, so we will go with the fabric journal. I will pop that aside and that one aside. The fabric journal I created with calico as my base, like I always do, and then I stuffed some wadding in between the two pages, sandwiched between the two pages. These images that I have used here again are by Marijke van Ooijen on Facebook. She also has a blog also, and I pop her amazing blog and Facebook page down below so you guys can go check her out if you haven't already done so. She creates the most beautiful bears and alters dolls and stuff like that, and everything's just so beautiful, and it's like my colors. Her colors are my colors. I love the soft tones and the hues that she does, and that's why it has really inspired me to create this. And also Bonnie would like to have a bear journal. I kind of like messaged Bonnie, and we kind of like talk and said, you know, what we would like this year, and you know, Bonnie would like a bear journal, and I said I would like a shabby chic, not a shabby chic, a vintage tattered journal with like vintage images of little girls in there. So that's what Bonnie has created for me, and I've seen some sneak peeks on Facebook, and it's so beautiful, guys. So a little bit about our intro and how we come up to decide on what we were going to do this year. So it started off, I think the base was about that big only, and the dangles down the bottom here are just all like layers of laces and doilies and stuff like that. So you only start off with a small square or rectangular. This is like a rectangular shape, and then it just grows and builds from there. So don't start off too big, or else it's just going to be huge and you're going to take forever just to cover or fill up all the bits and pieces. So as I mentioned, the images are by Marijke van Ooijen, and I've decided to use this particular image here as my cover. Isn't she just absolutely gorgeous? She's a lacy bear. I think she's probably sold already because she's absolutely stunning. So that's what I use her as my front cover. And then I printed onto fabric, and then I stuffed it with wadding just to make it dimensional, as you guys can see there. And then I just went on to layering and placing different laces and trims, and then a lot of the laces and trims are avocado dye as well as tea dye. This one's a bit of both, I think, avocado dye or tea dye. I can't remember one or the other, but it's not very pink, so it might be a bit of tea dye also there. And just a lot of laces and trims from my stash. Beautiful handmade flowers here. Ruffle some laces and pop here. Appliques on the side here. I think this is from Trestles Deluxe, this wedding applique lace. Just some tassel trims on the bottom. This beautiful applique down the bottom here is sent to me by Margaret, who is 7 Mrs. T. Hi Margaret. Beautiful bling from my stash. Gorgeous blings there. This is a beautiful tassel trim, and I just added these little flowers on the dangles here. I put three dangles together, and then I hot glued the flower on top just to have a beautiful feature point down the bottom. This lace is from my stash. This applique I got off eBay. And in the center here, I cut out some little doilies, and then I popped some beads in the center. As you guys can see there, some clear beads, and they add a bit of sparkle and shine. just ruffle up some more laces in the creams and the vintage tones, and just frame the beautiful image, and some laces down the some vintage doilies down the bottom here. For the spine, I had used this beautiful layered lace from my stash. This is the first time I have used this particular lace, and it's really gorgeous, and I've been hoarding it. It's really dimensional. It has like these flowers on top, and I got that off I think eBay long time ago, and I can't find it anymore. And these flowers are handmade by myself using different layers of doilies and different designs, as well as some curtaining tool, which is the tool here. I call it curtaining tool because you can find it in the curtain section for curtains. And the back of the journal, that's how it is. I'm yet to add my little sticker on there, my little handmade design by VAR. So I've printed that out, I just haven't added onto there yet. Just some doilies from my stash, and some, you know, cutouts of doilies and wedding appliques, and just, you know, do whatever. Okay, going to the first and second page. That's what they look like. Really beautiful. Just use heaps of layers. This is the flower page, and just heaps and heaps of layers of doilies. And this flower here was sent to me by, oh, forgot now. Let me think. Let me think and come. Yes, it is by Louisa, and it's all about craft. So thank you so much, Louisa. My brain wasn't really working before, and this beautiful flower was handmade by her and gifted to me in our swap, and it's so absolutely gorgeous. It wasn't a swap, I don't think. It was a rack from Louisa. Thank you so much, my dear. It is so beautiful. And I added this beautiful tassel and some tassel fringe down the bottom here, and just lots of dangles and different laces and trims from my stash. This is one of my very favorite images from Marijke van Ooijen. It's two little mice or mouses cuddling each other. I love the beautiful vintage tones in this particular image, and I just framed it with laces and trims and wedding appliques, and just went mad. And it's really chunky and really loaded with beautiful embellishments and laces and trims. And this is one of the laces appliques that I got from one of my local craft shops, and it's so beautiful. So that's that particular page. I won't go into too much details because fabric journals are very similar. And this is the center page, or center pages, and I've chosen these particular images, as well as Bonnie has chosen some of them also. And you have seen some of these images before. I don't think I've used this one before, but I've used this one numerous times, and I just went mad, like I mentioned, with laces and doilies, and used them all over the edges. The laces down the bottom here are avocado dye, gives them a beautiful peachy pink sort of fleshy colour. Handmade flower. This button is from Mel's Craft Boutique. Isn't it absolutely stunning? So I'll pop Mel's link down below so that you guys can go and check Mel's store out. She has beautiful embellishments like this that you can add to your projects, and they're just absolutely stunning, guys. And here's some beautiful dangles that I have recycled from a lampshade. It had like this dangle around it, and I took it off, and I was able to add a little bit to the side there. Just more laces and trims and more dangles, trims down the bottom. For the center, I've used some appliques from my stash, and just add some ribbon flowers in the center. On this page, again, just loaded with lots of laces and doilies and trims from my stash, and wedding appliques, and some handmade rose there, and a handmade flower here, beautiful bling. So that's that page. And the last two pages, we have beautiful little mice here in the beautiful shabby colours, and I coordinated this flower to match the pink that's in, you know, that's on her, the tulle I think she has, a bit of tulle there and a bit of tulle there also. And I made this puffy flower out of this beautiful, it's like silk, but it's not. It's more like a taffeta fabric. Then I added some appliques from my stash, and added this beautiful bling flower from my stash also. Doily flower. Added some tassel trims on the side here. Beautiful flower that I got. I can't remember who I got that from. I'm not sure if it's Marijke. Can't even remember now. Whoever has given me that flower brooch there, thank you so much. some beautiful applique, some avocado dye lace, eyelet lace, and more laces and trims. This particular last page is the pocket page, and I have made it out of beautiful wedding appliques here to form the pocket with some fabric. And then I just went on layering different laces and trims from my stash, like I keep saying, as you guys can see there. And this applique here that I've used throughout the journal is from a wedding dress that I picked up at one of the charity stores. It's cotton appliques. It has some around the hem and on the bodice, and I was able to chop some up and added it here. It's so beautiful. I love it. And I avocado dyed that. So I formed a pocket, and I just framed the pocket with laces and trims from my stash, wedding applique. This particular lace trim here, the netting, is from Elegant Embellishment, who is DK Crafts on Facebook, and I popped these link down below also. And this trim is so beautiful. I love this trim, and I think tea dye that or avocado dye, one or the other, I can't remember now. And in the pocket I've altered this cute little bear for Bonnie. Hi Bonnie. I'm gonna give you a little wave there. I picked her up at the charity store. I knew that I was gonna put a bear into this journal, and I wanted to find one small enough. And this little bear had like I think a bright yellow tutu on. So I took the tutu off and I altered her with laces and trims from my stash, as well as this beautiful trim that I mentioned before from Elegant Embellishment, DK Crafts on Facebook, and some handmade little rosettes that I've added onto her dress there and in her hair, as well as some tulle there. So she came out so stinking cute, a little bow at the back of her head. She just goes straight into the pocket here. So that is my fabric journal, guys, and I hope you like it, Bonnie. I had so much fun, and I love the cover. You know, I've had it in my room for so long because I created it a long time ago for you when I was less busy, and I just became really busy with the farm and had to finalize your package because it's getting closer to your B-day, and my hands have been really bad, and I've been putting off recording, waiting for days that my hands would be nice, but they never came out nice because I'm always at the farm. So I finally found some time today to record because your birthday is coming up in the next week or so, and I have to get it in the mail for you because I want to get it, as close as I can to your birthday this year. Not so behind like last year. So this is the matching banner, and I've cut it out. I cut out like a template from some A4 paper first, and then I cut out my shape onto some fabric that I had in my stash that looked like this, like that, and then I had just hot glued the two of them together with a bit of wadding inside just to hold its shape better. And then I went on to choosing the images that I want to frame, and I went with these beautiful 3 images. This one here, like the one that you've seen in the journal, very similar. And this one here is like the one on the front page, or the cover page. It's the same bear, but the picture's a little bit different. And then we have this little rabbit here. She's not in the journal, but she's so stinky cute. I love her. And then I went on to embellishing the banner, coordinating to the image that's inside. So this is in like a shabby vintage tone, really beautiful laces and tassel trims down the bottom here, and seam binding, and a bit of pearl dangles, and beautiful button center there. And I framed the image with laces at the back and doilies and appliques from my stash, and this beautiful eyelet trim, and then some pearls, flat back pearls on top there. So that's that particular image. And on the back I've just added some eyelet lace towards all of them for the back, just to finish them off like that. I'll show you with you guys, just like that, just to hide the glue or the parts where I've kind of like put them together. And this one here is the little rabbit one. Little rabbit, she's got a bit of peachy pink in there, so I picked that up and added some peachy pink laces, ruffled them all onto here. I think they're already, no, these ones are not ruffled. This one here is already ruffled. It's like in a cream color, but once I matched it up with the peachy pink colored lace. It kind of like looked peachy pink in the background also. And I ruffled the ones in the back here. They were just flat laces, so I ruffled them. And I interchanged them with the cream one and just layered them all together to frame the image at the top here. And a beautiful cream lace from my stash at the back here also. And then pop this lace around here. And to frame this image, I use this beautiful pearl trim with these little bows that I got off, I think eBay a long time ago also, that I haven't used. So that's the first time that I've used it, and it's on like a long strand, and I just kind of like looped it around, and then I've just hot glued it in random places. So it's all one long strand. I've just made like little flicks here and there and just framed the image, wedding appliques. This is a bridal trim that I got off Rosella a long time ago, and I snipped a little piece and just added it here. Beautiful handmade rose that I have created with doilies at the back there and more appliques from my stash. And they're all dimensional because I popped them up, and they're really lovely and soft. And this is the last pendant or banner. Again, this beautiful little mouse here. I framed her with beautiful laces. I love how this lace, eyelet lace, came out after I avocado dyed it. It is so beautiful, guys. It's in like a beautiful fleshy color. And some more wedding appliques, handmade flower, this doily flower that I made also, and just whatnots and laces and beautiful seam binding. One's avocado dye and one's like in a tea dye color. And that is my gorgeous banner. So we've got 19 minutes left. I'm going to try and record everything into this vid. So this is an altered bucket that I have created for Bonnie, and I've shared some sneak peeks on Facebook already. Its original color is just pink like that, and I purchased at the thrift shop for $1, so it was a really good buy. And I've had it for a little while, and I've been wanting to alter it, and this was the perfect project for it to hold all my beautiful embellishments that I have created in here as a gift for my beautiful friend Bonnie, and she's gonna love this year. It's so beautiful. I had so much fun creating shabby again. I haven't, been doing a lot of shabby projects lately and anything much to do with paper, but I'm going to get back to paper because I'm swapping some gifts also with Violet, who is Paper Made Pretty. I think she's changed her YouTube channel to Paper Made Pretty, I think now, and yeah, I got to get back into the shabby sort of mood because I'm always a shabby person, and I love these sort of colours with the pinks and the greens and the shabby colours. And I've been playing with Frantage also, and I've just went mad with Frantage, the Stupendous one that I shared with you guys before, and this is what it looks like. It's by Stupendous, and it's called Frantage, and it's shabby white embossing enamel, and I heat set them, and they just become so shabby and so sparkly like this, guys. This was just a paper doily, and with the enamel on them, the embossing powder from the Frantage, it helps to hold its shape better. So anything that's really fragile like this doily will be firmer and will last longer also. So that's what I used. I used a Frantage on that, and this image I printed off Pinterest, and I Frantaged the edges on that also, and it is so shabby, so distressed looking. It's so beautiful, guys. I'm going to repeat myself 10 times, so just bear with me. And this beautiful little cluster here I've created, and these flowers here I have used tinsel embossing powder over the top of it, so it has this beautiful flock kind of like look all over them, even these carnations. And these are I think this one here, can't remember if it's a wok or iron roses. This is definitely a wok carnation, but I can't remember if this is wok or iron roses, guys. This is definitely wok, and these little cherry blossoms are wok also. And this little daisy here is in a beautiful cream color. It looks yellow, but it's actually cream. It's from wok also. These little flowers here, and these little leaves here, and these little cherry-like blossoms are from Mel's Craft Boutique on Zibbit, and I'll pop Mel's link down below so that you guys can go and check Mel out. These little appliques here, little snippets here are from Mel's store, as well as these little beautiful enamel embellishment flowers here also. This butterfly punch is by EK Success, and it's a layered butterfly punch. You get 3 layers in the punch, and I use my tinsel embossing powder on them also, and they're sparkly and they hold the shape really well because of the embossing powder on top. So I layered these 2 first, and then I put on my cluster, and I just went around and embellishing it with all these beautiful flowers. I layered this lace that I got from Alicia, who is Glitz and More, and this beautiful rosette trim is from my BFF Annie's Etsy shop, and I'll pop Annie's link down below also. Lots of links for you guys to click on, and it's so beautiful, and I got that in my birthday rack, so thank you so much. Annie, it's so beautiful. I love it so much. Around the bottom of the outer bucket, I've used this beautiful lace from my stash, and that's all I have left of this beautiful lace, and it's cotton embroidered. Oh, it's so beautiful, guys. I used all of it. Oh, reluctantly, but you know, you can't hold things forever. And then where I have hot glued it around my tin, I've added these little beautiful pearl embellishments from my stash. Three of them, and they come back here to finish where my cluster is. And on the handle here, I've just tied some beautiful curtaining tool from my stash on both sides. And here's the beautiful yummies that I have made for Bonnie, and she's just gonna love it. So I'm gonna take them out and share with you guys what I have created for Bonnie. A lot of these items I have posted on Facebook already. So down the bottom, I've just popped some tissue paper just to prop it up, and it's in a lovely shabby pink color, as you guys can see here already. I didn't paint that. That was what the bucket looked like when I picked it up at the charity store. The first item that I have popped in here for Bonnie is this beautiful ribbon embroidery frame that I have altered, and here's my ribbon work. I had done this a while ago, and I have posted it on Facebook also, and that's my cover picture on there. It's so pretty. So that's the first item that I have created for Bonnie. I'll start at the back so I can fill it back up again. I've created these 2 beautiful crowns from a Sussex die, and I use pink frontage on this one here. The paper collection that I use is Marijke Designs, the Vintage Summer Basics, as my base in a blue color, and then I use the pink frontage on top and heat set it, and it has this beautiful shine and distressed look, as you guys can see there. The top one here, they're both blue paper, but with the embossing powder on top, the frontage, it kind of like made it really shabby, and you can see some blue in random places. I'm not going to take it out, so forgive me for the glare. And this particular backing paper is by Marijke Designs also, in the same collection, and I've just punched the corners with my Martha Stewart butterfly punch just to accent the corners. And again, I mentioned this is a C6 die, and I just went on to embellishing it with beautiful rock flowers that I have embossed with the frontage as well as the tinsel embossing powder, and used some loopy trims and pearl trims from my stash and some seam binding. And here I've just made this little banner out of just some scrap paper. I stamped the word inspire yourself, added a bling up here, and I inked the edges with spun sugar, distress inks by Tim Holt, and added a little bit of bling here and some pearls on either side there, and it's so beautiful and shabby. I hope you like it, Bonnie. If not, send it back. But I know you will. This is so Bonnie style. And this one here, very similar, but instead of in the center, I've added the cluster towards the side. Some beautiful flowers from Walk and Iron Roses. Some beautiful cherry blossoms from Mel Store. Bling from my stash. And some gorgeous flat back pearls there. And another little banner that I created. Says Sprout a Little Smile. And that's that one. So pretty, guys. I love this so much. So that's for my dear Bonnie. And I made 2 tags that I printed from Pinterest also. They look like that. I know Bonnie loves these kind of images. I've got some left, and I will include them in your package for you to use also, my dear. And I've just went mad with stickers and made them really sparkly. And aren't they so beautiful, these 2 little girls? And I used the Tim Holtz tags. No, I didn't. I backed it onto cardstock. Sorry, these are not the Tim Holtz one. The tags, these are actually like lots of tags together. I think there's like 6 or 8 of them together like that, and they were already this shape that I printed off Pinterest, and then I just cut them out, backed it onto cardstock, and then just cut that out also, and inked the edges with spun sugar to give the little like pink shabby look on the edge there. And I distress it with scissors because I can't find my distressing tool at the moment. And then I went made with stickles, as you guys can see. Use some beautiful mint green grosgrain ribbon there, and just added some flat backs in the center. That's a pink seam binding, and dangle some beautiful laces from my stash. This one I got off Rosella, and these ones here were from my friend Janelle. Thank you, Janelle. They're so beautiful, and she is Janelle Kilmore on Facebook. Thank you, Janelle. And my beautiful tags can go back in my little bucket there. And I've created some beautiful buttons that I got from that Annie sent to me in my rack. These are the Daiso ones, and I covered them with some shabby fabric from my stash. And the background here is some pictures that I got off a blog. I think there's a little bear picture there. I love this little bear picture. I think it's by Sabine's blog. I can't remember. I can't pronounce her blog. Even I don't know. It's not like it's in the UK somewhere, like Europe, so I can't pronounce it. So I'm not going to pronounce it. But she has a YouTube channel also. Sabine, I can't remember her surname, but if I do find her blog again, I'll pop it down below. And I've just made these beautiful buttons out of some shabby fabric, like I mentioned, and I added some stickles on here, all in different sizes. And it came out so super gorgeous. So thank you so much, Annie, for these beautiful buttons. And I hand stitched them all on, as you guys can see my stitching, and I placed them on there perfectly so that they go really well together. They're really beautiful and shabby, so Bonnie can use that in her projects. Made some beautiful shabby flowers, and again I posted these on Facebook, and people really liked these and commented on them. I actually followed a tutorial on again, it's not English, I think it's Spanish, Artsy Brazil, I can't remember, but I'll pop the link to the tutorial below so you guys can go and check it out. But it's slightly different. I wanted to look like hers, but it didn't look like hers, like the one in the tutorial, and that's how mine came out. It's still so beautiful and so shabby though, guys, but give it a go and you can make it into any flower pretty much. So you do need needle and thread for this, and I use a bit of hot glue to hold it together. The lady stitched it, but I have really sore fingers because of farm work, and I can't really stitch really small fine threads, so I use hot glue, and hot glue is a lot faster for me. So that's how I made these beautiful flowers, and I backed them with doily on the back. And this one here is just a gather stitch, and then I cut the edges and made it really frayed and shabby, and then just added my flower on top there. And these are just some rolled roses, and I have a tutorial on this if you go through my vids, and there's also heaps of other tutorials on YouTube also. And I made them out of the shabby fabric that I picked up from the charity store. I think it was like a sheet. And it looks like this. It's just made out of this fabric here, from plain simple fabric into beautiful flowers. And I've used this numerous times before when I altered my vintage shabby chairs. So that's what the fabric looked like. I've got 7 minutes left, so I've got to hurry up. So I pop that in there. And then I altered some beautiful butterflies. These are using the Tim Holtz little butterfly dies, and there's 2 of them on the die. And I punched them out on my Big Shot, and then using my gel design papers, and then I used frontage on them also to make them really sturdy and good quality. And then I added some bling to the center. The frontage already has this beautiful glitter on them already, so you didn't have to add any glitter at all. And I just really distressed this piece of paper just to hold and make them really shabby, and I added some beautiful carnations from my stash there also. So beautiful butterflies, and they're really dimensional, so I'm loving these. It's fun, it's good fun playing with dies that you have, because I haven't played with paper for quite some time, like I keep saying. These little altered domino kind of like embellishments here, I made them out of box board, like, you know, like the boxes that you send packages in. They're very similar to dominoes, but they're actually not. If you've seen a video I posted a long time ago, they're made out of box board, as you guys can see, and they're really simple. Just cut out your square or your shape, whatever you want to make. Cut out your image, just adhere it on top using whatever glue that you want to, and then you can use glossy accents on top. But I used my crackle medium that I got from my friend Nadeshda. Thank you so much, Nadeshda. Sorry about the glare, guys, but I don't want to take it out of the packaging. It's a crackle accent. It's a glossy, not glossy, it's a crackle accent, like a gloss, crackle medium, sorry guys. And it's by Fun and Fancy. Let me see if I can find it. It's this one here. If you guys are in the UK, you'll be able to find it. It's Fun and Fancy, and it's a crackle medium. It's really beautiful. The best thing about this crackle medium is don't heat set it. That's not the best thing, but don't heat set it, because when you heat set it, the cracks don't crack as well. This particular one here I made first, and I try to heat set it to speed it up, and the cracks are really weird, as you guys can see. That it's still nice, but it's not as fine and as crackly as that one. These images I got off off Pinterest also, and I just printed them out, cut cut my circles, and just put the image on top. And then I used this, crackle medium, and they just went crackling. Or you can use the Tim Holtz crackle accent too, I think, and it will come up the same. But look at them. They're so pretty. I love how they are. So pop that one in there. And this one here I was inspired by my beautiful friend Nadeshda again, because she used these beautiful little images like that on the box that she created for me. And I asked her what dye this was, and she mentioned it to me, and I was able to find this dye on fishpond.com, I think. And I cut it out using cereal box. I painted it, and then I used liquid pearls. No, perfect pearls. No, not perfect pearls. What is it? Liquid pearls. It is liquid pearls for the white and the champagne color. And then this particular color here, I used it's like a gel medium. I haven't got it with me, but it's like a paint, but it's a dimensional paint. And I used it on top of that one there, and then I used the Fun and Fancy crackle medium on top of all the image. I sealed it with Mod Podge first, just to protect the image so that it doesn't discolor, but it still changed the color of the images a little bit, and it made them more vintage and more old sort of looking. But I love the effect, and it came out super nice. And I added some punched out butterfly punches and added towards that. So that's pretty much that one. So lots of goodies coming your way, Bonnie, that you can play with. And the last item before I run out of breath is this beautiful altered clothes peg. And I can't remember who sent this clothes peg, guys, so I do apologize for not remembering who you are. I don't know if it was Elaine, or I don't know if it was my BFF Annie, but if you remember who you are, PM me. I want to thank you personally. It's a huge size clothes peg, as you guys can see my hand. It's so beautiful, and I've already posted this project on Facebook also. And it's absolutely stunning, like I mentioned. It was just wood, and then I painted it white first, and then I painted it with this beautiful Kaisercraft blue color paint. It's like a robber's egg blue, and then I distressed it with white paint again on top, just to make it shabby. And I used the tinsel embossing powder on top here. So you guys can see that. It's tinsel and has beautiful flecks of sparkles in it also, on the top, on the sides, and on the bottom. And then I used the frontage on this beautiful doily, paper doily, and then I had cut it out and adhered it to this side and on top, on the bottom here. And then I just went mad and embellishing it with beautiful creams from my stash, as well as this beautiful, this little beautiful pearl trim that Annie sent me in the birthday package also. And I can share with you guys quickly what that one looks like, and it looks like this, and it's a whole row of it. So check Annie's store, and I just chopped up some bits and pieces. It's creamy pink, and it's got some pink in it also different coloured, it's like a two-tone pink, and I had added that onto the bottom, and then I went on to layering with beautiful flowers from Iron Roses, as well as Walk on top there. And this little pearl embellishment flat back is from Annie. And she sent it in my birthday rag as some buttons from my stash. I stamped this piece of cardstock and I added the word shine. And this is actually a spray from my stash that I add here, and I just added some little ribbon ties in pink, and a butterfly, which is the EK Success 3 butterfly layer punch there, and just some beautiful flowers from my stash there also. So thank you so much, guys, for watching, and bear with me for the last half an hour. And I hope you like my beautiful creations that I have created for you, my dear Bonnie. And I'm looking forward to our swap next year also, and what we come up with. So thanks, guys, once again. Love you all. Bye.